this video, you should be happy because, or you don't have to be happy, but the past couple videos I was like, it's the weekend, I'm not gonna wash my hair, but I washed it last night, so kudos to me. So I have been on the celery juice every single morning since February. It is now currently August, and so that's like 120, 130 days, I think. I can't remember the exact number. I have to calculate it again. So I have been on it for pretty much a straight 6 months. There has been a couple days throughout that I have not been drinking it. Like, I haven't drank it for the last 3 days. I did drink it today. There's been a couple times I was traveling and I wasn't able to drink it, so pretty much for a solid 6 months, just a couple days here and there, not very many at all, because I was pretty diligent about it. So I'll give you a little background on why I decided to start drinking this celery juice, since it was this crazy trend all of a sudden. Well, it's not a trend, but you know, like everyone was doing it all at the same time. I have been on my journey for years. Like, I've been wanting to lose weight for ever since I was young. I've always felt like I was overweight, not healthy, and I started doing all the health things kind of at the beginning of 2018. I've always been doing healthy things, but it would always fail, and I'd always revert back to junk food and drinking soda and not working out. And I have a lot of mental health, like anxiety, depression. I struggle with acne, and so I was just looking for something else to try out. I'm always willing to try out something new in the health world. So I thought, why not read up on this Anthony William guy and try out some celery juice? So I got all of his books. I read pretty much all of them. I didn't read through the entire liver rescue book, but I read the parts that I needed to. Celery juice really, like, if you read the book, it's supposed to help pretty much every disease, every illness, pretty much everything claimed by Anthony William, and he has a ton of testimonies on his Instagram and his website. I was just looking for something else. I've always struggled with digestive issues as well, so looking for something out of the celery juice. So I bought myself a juicer and started the celery juicing. At the beginning I was doing it at night because I felt like it took so much time in the morning. In my juicer, I have to chop up the celery like you saw in the beginning clips of this video. I have to chop it up because I got kind of a cheaper juicer. I just need to chop up the celery, and I don't get that much pulp. It pretty much gives me what I need from the celery stalks. I started out with like 4 ounces, like he said in his book, and then I gradually went up to 16, and then for a while I was doing 32, and I noticed a lot in those first couple weeks because I was struggling with my acne. Like, it all came back all at once, and I was having a hard time with my skincare products, and I swear my acne like cleared up in a couple days almost. And I was like, oh my gosh, this stuff is magic. And then I think I had to go on a vacation, so I didn't have it for 2 days, and when I started drinking it again, all my acne came back like full force for months. So I was in a lot, or I had a lot of low moments throughout this last 6 months with my acne and my mental health. I was getting like huge bumps on my chin. They were all over my forehead. It was like I was in high school again. And I definitely went through a lot of detox symptoms. There was a couple weeks in there where I could barely get up. Like, I was exhausted. I had no energy. Eventually, those detox symptoms did subside. This might be TMI, but the entire time I've been on it, I've had awful gas. Like, probably some of the worst gas I've ever had. Still having it to this day. That's why I haven't had it in the past 3 days. But I think that my body needs less of it. Like, I am doing too much of it at once. So in the future. Today I had 16 ounces, but I think I'm gonna cut it down just because I feel like my body is detoxing too fast. Because in the beginning of my celery juice journey, I was pretty much eating kind of the same, it's not junk food diet, but still like a lot of animal products and or just meat, no eggs or cheese. I was just having meat, but I was still eating like potato chips and like processed things. So I think that now that I've cleaned my diet up almost perfect, my body is detoxing even more. So yeah, I feel like my body is just detoxing too fast and really showing itself with my gas situation. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but it's definitely a really awkward feeling having like being like at work and like smelling up the whole office and people are like, something wrong with you? The last 3 days that I didn't have it, that didn't happen, and I was blaming it on bananas before, but the bananas are sitting fine with me, so I'm just going to slow it down just a little bit, but I still want to try it out longer because Anthony Williams says it's not an overnight cure and you can't just do celery juice on your normal diet. You have to clean up your diet. So I've incorporated a lot more fruit, a lot more vegetables, and as of right now, I am eating 100% plant-based, but as of right now, that is what is working best for my body, and I feel like I don't need to binge, like I feel full. So I feel like the celery juice is more than just drinking it. It's a journey. It's taught me to be consistent every day. I do it in the morning now. It's taught me to like stick up for myself in what I'm eating because people look at me like I'm freaking crazy drinking this green stuff, and then they're like, what's in that? And I'm like, it's just celery. And they're like, just celery? There's nothing else? I'm like, yes. So sticking up for myself is a big one because I've always been a quiet person, always have had anxiety, and it's really taught me to be myself, to do what's best for me, not to listen to these people that have no clue what they're talking about. So it's taught me that a healing journey is possible. As of right now, I don't have any active breakouts, and I feel wonderful about that. All the bumps that, if you can see on my face, they're all older, healing still, but I haven't had any active ones lately. I don't expect it to stay like this because my skin has always gone up and down, but we'll see. It has shown me that healing is possible. It has brought me to this wonderful community of medical medium people, and Instagram is just a wonderful place to be on right now because people are sharing their recipes and sharing their healing journeys and showing that no one is alone in this process. Because healing yourself from pretty much anything is overwhelming and it takes time, and it's not going to be an overnight fix. So if you're on your healing journey, I encourage you to stick with it because I know it's worth it. Or I haven't gotten to 100% yet, but I've made drastic strides in my life just because I introduced medical medium to my life. I'm not taking all of this stuff 100% because I like to research a lot of different doctors and different ways of eating, but if I didn't find him, I could have gone down that keto route and been eating 0 carbs, 0 fruit, and just eating like fat all day. So I think I explained pretty much all the main points of the celery juice. I am going to still incorporate it into my life. I'm not going to be as strict as I was this past 6 months with it, just because I haven't seen the hugest improvement. I know that it still takes probably more time because I've built up toxins and all the things are built up in me for these past 26 years of my life. But I'm just going to take a couple weeks to chill out, take some more time for myself because it does take a lot of time to make it, and just see what works for my body. I am Not claiming that celery juice has cured me of anything. I'm not claiming that it hasn't. I'm just here to share my story about what it has done for me so far. So for my anxiety, I have seen a shift in that as well. And I don't know if that's just from the celery or it's from everything that I'm doing, but I've definitely had less. It's still there. I could still feel it constantly. Not constantly, but I feel like I have more freedom from it, but I am incorporating meditation and more self-love and just everything I can. So I think that celery juice is just one tiny piece of my healing journey, and it definitely helps, but it's not everything. So one thing that was a struggle in the springtime, I started in February, so winterish spring, celery prices like skyrocketed. I was paying like $7 for a bunch of celery, and which is freaking ridiculous. Now it's like $2-ish at my co-op. I wanted to try it out for a straight 6 months to see what it did, so I was willing to pay for it because it kind of is like paying for a supplement if you look at it that way. Yeah, so if any of you have been on the celery juice movement or are thinking of trying it, let me know in the comments below. I'll answer any questions I have about it that I know. And you can always reference his Instagram, medical medium / Anthony William, his Instagram and website for any more information or any of his books. He has great podcasts. I guess they're webinars, but he has a lot of information out there. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all your support. If you can give me a like on this video so I know that it was beneficial to you or you liked it, and let me know in the comments if you are doing celery juice, because I love making new celery juice friends. It's one of the best feelings ever to know that someone else is doing something you are and you don't feel crazy, you know? Please subscribe for more content, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Thanks.